Justice for all. Okay.
Need a motion to sign the warrants?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? You only need 3 signatures in here. Charlie.
You certainly didn't learn the Reinhardt method.
No. I don't know what that is, but I know I didn't.
Need a motion to accept the minutes as written of April 17th.
So moved.
Second? All in favor? And we don't have any old business. First on the agenda is Victor Trafford, the Wharf liquor license renewal. Anything changed?
It's exactly the same as it's been previous
Okay.
years.
Alrighty. Mhm. They want blue pens, that makes sense. Do we have any
Motion to
comments?
accept
The
the
license.
license for the matter.
I will second that.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, so, Dan made the motion to accept it, and Jason seconded. They want us to use blue pens.
Blue,
Yes.
not black.
This is the official.
Yeah, actually, just send this to her.
Good.
So, will you be able to come up and pick it up tomorrow, because they make a copy of it, give you the
sure.
original? Okay, so we'll be open, and it'll
It's
be
a
ready
done
for
deal.
today. So it's all, we're all,
Done.
you're all
We're
good.
Thank you.
Okay. So we need to make a copy for ourselves, and then that's better than the one. And then you'll get yours and send in whatever, there's a fee to send into the state, right?
Yes, I think I send that right straight to the state.
Yeah, with your original application. So you need our original signatures, which we'll give you tomorrow, because we don't have anyone to make a copy now, we'll give you.
Okay.
Okay, like that? All right. Okay. Now we're gonna move the crosswalk on Washington Street and South Street up next, because that's what we're doing. Paul,
Yeah.
did you wanna come up and address, I'm not sure why it's on the agenda, so did you have?
No, I think I made it very clear to you folks, where I sent the thing Renee on the
Okay,
email.
yeah, I did see
I
that.
think you fellows probably should have shared it, the rest of the board, but then read it as well.
It was quite a bit of
Yes,
back,
it
there was
was.
quite a bit of back and forth, so.
Well, I don't know what back and forth or not, but the way I explained it to you fellas, I thought I put it very clear.
Okay.
So let me interject a little bit
Okay,
here.
sounds good.
I emailed Orel Garnall, the project manager, about what we had talked about, and I sent that to you, Paul.
That's correct.
And he said, we do have the right to nix the crosswalk out of the project, but it would cost more to take it out of the plans, however, we can instruct the contractor not to do it. So
There you
that's
go.
the option on the table.
How's it gonna cost more than what putting it in to begin with?
Well, that's what we should do then, is mix it.
And
Well,
we'll just,
once they start
Once,
construction.
yes, 'cause
Yes.
I
Because they
agree.
have to redo all of those
I agree
drawings.
100% with Paul, that is a foolish thing to do.
Stupid
that.
thing that they did.
Yeah, it's,
So no
makes no
crosswalk.
sense.
Yeah. No
he
crosswalk.
does, if you read the email, he does cite why it was put there, just so that we have all our cards on the table, that it was to increase safety, to get to the school and such, just so we all
There's
know that.
no sidewalks going to
If,
it.
what we had mentioned the last time that there is no continuing sidewalk on your side of the
That
road.
is correct.
And that if they were really concerned about the safety of the children, they would have made the crosswalk on the side of the nursing home or the old nursing home.
Correct.
And then it would be on the side of the school.
Yes.
So
And then it would go
there-
to the school.
And it
too,
would go
yeah.
directly to the school. This way, they're gonna have to do another crosswalk there
Yep.
with a congestion of buses coming in early morning.
Oh, yeah,
It
that
makes
makes total sense.
absolutely no sense for them, for what they've done. Yes.
Let you know, this is the main DOT engineering instructions on crosswalks and landing zones, and they're going against what they're saying here.
Uh-huh.
Number 3, and you guys can find this right online.
Yeah.
All crosswalks should extend from one safe landing zone to another. A safe landing zone is an area where a pedestrian is safe from vehicle conflict while waiting to cross or when completing the crossing. Islands, walkways, and sidewalks are typically considered safe landing zones, while road shoulders, driveways under normal circumstances, where's that landing zone going now, into our driveway, and
Yes.
parking areas. My
Yes.
shop is there,
Yes.
and I'm telling you right now, my customers will pull right up over that
Sure.
landing zone.
Sure.
And if you have children waiting, anybody, an adult, and they come off that landing zone, and I have a customer backing out and they run them over,
Sure.
I'm just
Sure.
saying, they
Yeah.
are going against.
Yeah. I think you're singing to the choir here.
Yeah, that makes
No,
sense.
I totally
Concern.
agree
I
with you
mean,
guys.
Yeah.
that's the public,
Yeah.
they own that.
Yeah.
For the
They've messed
landing
up on
zone.
this one.
And
And
then,
So now it's just gonna
No,
remain
it's the
your
same.
private
They
property.
don't mess up on that stuff, the state.
If we go with this motion.
No.
So Jason, would you like to make the motion?
Now, we mix the crosswalk in the landing? I certainly
And
will.
but you make a motion to nix the crosswalk at the time of construction, not at the time of the plans, if that's agreeable to you, because then they have to review all the engineering specs.
Yep, that's fine.
And
Well,
what
they
about-
want about it in the body.
well, the
I-
crosswalk, but also they have
And the
the
landing zone.
property as an easement for maintenance and construction. I
But
hope
you
that
didn't
will
sign
also-
anything, did you?
No.
No.
Oh,
So
and
you
don't
didn't
cash
sign
that
anything,
check,
and they
send
don't
it back.
I just
You
went,
ain't gotta tell me twice.
They don't have any rights.
Since I've had it, so.
I just.
there was a reason they gave you that check, you know?
And they said that
Exactly.
wouldn't affect him at all.
You didn't, yeah, you didn't take
Yeah,
it.
we just went through the same thing in Whiting, so we
Yeah.
know a
Okay.
little bit about it.
So is
I
that?
will
So
make
at
that a
the time-
motion, at the
Motion,
time of construction.
time of that we will nix the crosswalk and the landing on South Street and,
Should have
Washington
been-
Avenue.
Yeah.
At the time of construction. Second,
Check.
all in favor?
Thank you.
There you go. Okay. Good to me. Everybody agrees. All right, road shoulder project. Table? Yeah. We have a contract that's been given to us by the DOT for a, bicycle path from Red Point Park to Crow's Neck Road, and it is, we're not gonna sign that until we get a memorandum of agreement from the Butler Foundation.
Good.
Which takes all of the, what we're supposed to be doing, they're gonna be doing it all. If it
Right.
doesn't say they're gonna do it all, then we're not
Okay.
doing it. So
Good.
we're waiting for that to come from their lawyer. There is a $30,000 shore and harbor management grant that we could be eligible for, and I'm working on that. I actually did submit a grant for about $12,000 for some repairs on the commercial pier last week, and I'm hoping we will get that as well. So these are just some grants that have come up with very short deadlines. This one has to be in by Monday, so this one, the matching funds for this one is $7,500. We do have that in the Safe Harbor project. The committee did vote that we could spend on the matching funds, but I believe we may be getting the matching funds from somewhere else.
Mhm.
It will go toward geotechnical survey. That's looking at the ground underneath where the project is going to be.
Mhm.
To see whether or not the breakwater and the pilings can be placed in that particular part of the ocean floor.
Yes.
So people have to come up with sonar and all this fancy equipment
See the
to see,
structural
well, to see whether the thing is just kind of gonna sink, or if there's, is
ledge.
it ledge, or it's a little higher technical than I can understand.
It's like
That's
me
why we
talking about
that's why
broadband.
we hire smart people to do things we don't know. This is the project to date, because the next thing on the agenda is to ask the select board to allow the old town garage to be repurposed for this project if we get the $15 million grant from our federal government, which we're applying for,
Uh-huh.
which I probably should say too. I'm in the process of running a $15 million grant from the
Yeah.
federal government, and it's no matching funds. It's a build grant, and
Okay.
so part of the project is entrance and egress. At first, we were gonna enter an egress behind the red house. And after we built the town garage and we demolished the old one, then we were able to redesign it so that we have an egress and use that for parking.
Mm-hmm.
It does involve a small strip of a private owner's property, which I'll have to get a option to buy as part of the grant specifications, but this would only be if we do get the money. I mean, this is one of these projects where you either get all the money or you can't do it. You can't do little $100,000 here and there, it won't happen, so.
Is that, I can't remember, is that a paved parking lot? Is that?
No.
It's
Not right now, but
it's not.
it would be,
Yeah.
or not, it depends, I mean, it's what
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So, we spoke to MMA and the lawyer felt that the select board, since we already own the property, could repurpose it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with running it by the town in August. I do have to send this design in, and the grant is due July 15th. And we will be told November, and it's gonna be approximately $15 million grant, so I have to try for it.
Yeah, sure.
There's a 13%
We'll all keep
chance
our
to get it.
fingers crossed. And,
13% chance of getting it, you know?
13?
13%.
Come on, you play the odds, it's good.
It's better than the lottery.
That's right.
So anyway, you're welcome to come look at it if you want. So how would you like to proceed with that? Would you be willing to repurpose the garage for this project, subject to the money?
Yes, yes, I think it's a
Yeah.
fine use of that space, since we have nothing else. I would, do you want to vote? I mean, I would propose that we repurpose the former garage
The safe
lot for safe harbor.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Of course, it's subject to
Subject
the
to
whole,
the
oh,
grant.
the actual
Yes.
grant.
That 13%,
Yes.
Right.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion?
Subject to grant award,
Pardon me?
subject to grant award.
Yeah, subject to grant
Yeah.
award, yes.
Discussion before the vote, or?
No, we anyway, we discussed it already. Do you have
Okay.
any comments, Dan?
Huh? No?
You're good?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not knowing anything yet.
All right.
be sure to let us know if you will.
I will, I will.
I'm sure I'll probably feel right over it.
Okay.
Barbara?
Let me pass it, I have a question. I hope we get the grant, so I'll come back to you with you. But if we don't, what happens then?
Well, I sat through a 2-hour webinar yesterday with the federal government and 239 other people interested in this grant that just came out a week ago. They did answer, many people asked whether it would include ports, and there is a separate $300 million grant round federally that will entertain port construction. But I did email them, and they did say our project would be eligible, so I'm going to try for this one.
Oh, no, I don't,
And if we don't get this one, we're gonna go for the next one, the port one, the one just for port.
so then you'll roll that over to condition that, to
Yes,
get that, okay.
yes, I think it's all gonna be very quick,
Okay.
because this is, we'll find out in November, so that's a very fast turnaround, so it's a lot of work.
Thank
You got nothing else to do,
Thank
right?
you.
Very excited about it, so we'll see what happens. Foreclosures, we have what, 2? And what are
Isn't
you
that the
suggesting that we do?
Well, this is just us notifying you what happened and that 2 were foreclosed on.
And they both have structures on them? Are they livable structures?
One of them is land that has trailers that don't go with the land on it.
Okay, so
That's
you-
a
that's an
family
issue, right?
situation, right? Where the state had interest on it, and the state was the one that was paying the taxes, but now they've let the foreclosure happen, so the town could let the property owners buy it back for whatever.
So I believe we
No
read
one's
the,
living.
we read the
Yes.
rules
they are
that the
living.
that if you are, when you have a mobile home on a property that is not owned by the people, then it is considered personal property. It's not considered real estate.
Jim taxes it as real estate, because they have their own file.
I know, but I've researched it and the rule is
Would that,
if the people own the land and the mobile home, then that's considered real estate. Otherwise, we'll have to research it because I don't think you can foreclose only on the land. You cannot foreclose on it. It's not attached to the land. You can't foreclose on it. Well, that's not what I read. So,
Duke it out with Jim.
well, you know, he's not.
not my battle.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to talk to a lawyer.
I say we
need to talk to
table,
a lawyer,
let's table this.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'd
you don't
make the
have
phone
to act
call.
on it, it's just that we wanted to let
Just
you
to make
know
us
that there were
aware
two
that-
foreclosures that did happen.
yes,
Well,
okay.
And that I have written a letter to, the one that does have a house on it,
Well,
to
that
get
one's
their
fine.
personal
That one's
properties
fine.
out. You know, they
Yeah.
have 21 days, so we've got time anyway.
Okay.
we had, our shellfish warden got a different job and has resigned. He's staying on for a few more weeks, I believe, and then
Oh,
we've got the, deputy warden working on patrolling the clam flats, and I will have a shellfish meeting on Monday, and we'll have to discuss how to go forward with that. Would you like to advertise in the paper?
sure.
So I need a motion to advertise for a new shellfish warden,
I
a
would move that
part-time.
we advertise for a new shellfish warden.
I'll
Part-time?
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Yes.
So we have cemetery mowers, accepting application, we're accepting applications for cemetery mowers. And it's what, minimum wage? $11 an hour, isn't it? $11 an hour. Nomination papers are available for select board, school board,
One select board, 3 school
I
board,
think it's 2 school board.
Good school board.
2 school
School
board,
board, 1
or
select
1
board,
year,
and
3 year.
all 3 members of the budget committee.
And water district.
Did we
And
scare
the
them
water
all away?
district. We, of course. They were all, no, they were all appointed, so they can only serve for 1 year.
Oh.
You have to run if you want a 3-year term. Rabies clinic?
Ah,
I went to a, conference, and a few things have changed, and I wanted to share what I had learned at the conference. It ran, a half a day on Friday and all day on Saturday. And you could attend multiple meetings and you didn't have to miss any, because some of them went on consecutively, so if you went to one, you could go to another one at another time. A couple of things that came up that I thought were important was that dangerous dogs now will be determined by the court. They won't be determined by the animal control officer. We used to have a list of things that we decided. And one of these rule changes to make it that the judge decides this is that when they register that dog, it will be continued to be registered as a dangerous dog, and they pay a certain amount, and it follows the dog permanently, but it cannot be arbitrarily decided by animal control officers. It actually has to be, go to court.
how would a judge know more than an animal control officer?
You must go with, you must go and
Yes.
recommend.
But also, if it now, the judge has specific things that the dog has to have done to be labeled as a dangerous dog. This was almost done because animal control officers could arbitrarily determine it. And when they brought this before this is what I understood from the meeting, when they brought this to the department, they wanted it to be very consistent, and they also wanted it to follow the dog. Because before, when we would determine a dog was a dangerous dog, we told the people what they needed to do, but if they moved out of the town, it didn't go with them. So I guess, maybe not around here, it hasn't happened to me, but some of the animal controllers talked about that they would just move to another town, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't follow the dog. And there had been some incidents that the animal control officers there shared, And this was a way to have this not happen. We haven't experienced it here, but it's a new rule, so I wanted to share that. The rabies, they went over the CDC and what the procedures are. They kind of streamlined them a little bit. Handed out these lovely little cheat sheets that we're supposed to use when people call, so we make sure that we handle any possible rabies. We haven't had an increase up this way, but overall in the state, we have had an increase in reported rabies. And what they felt is that further south, there's more people and more animals go in to be tested, that up here we probably have as much incidence as rabies, but the animals aren't taken to be tested because they're not interacting with pets and humans as much, that it wasn't much different there. They went over, I did take one class in rescuing large animals that probably I'll never have to use, but it was an interesting
Large
class.
animals like a bear?
No, like a horse that gets stranded, or cattle, or something like that.
You only deal with small horses.
Right, that's more like, and they had,
That's right.
Northwood Law was there, that guy came in and did a demonstration with his dogs, and that was interesting, but not as important as the dangerous dogs and the rabies conference. And they also took a class on trying to get more people in compliance with licensing. I think we're doing a lot of those things, like the rabies clinic that's coming up at the end of May here, was one of the recommendations for helping to get more people to license
When
their
is
dogs.
that again, in May?
May 25th, 9 to 11.
Thank you.
What day is that?
It's a Saturday morning, yes, and it's Little River Veterinary Clinic's gonna be here. And I'm hoping to do one again in the fall.
And cats and dogs?
Yes. And, the one other last thing that's changed since the last time I reported to you is that the state of Maine is requiring now that we report all of the calls that we make throughout the year. So I'm doing a monthly tally, because last year they came out with this and I hadn't been keeping a monthly tally. But that has to be turned into the state every year so they can keep track of the different complaints that each animal control officer goes to.
They don't have enough to do.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
No, you're doing a fantastic
You do an
job. We're
admirable
very
job.
lucky to have you.
Barbara.
Thank you so much.
How do we as a community check, because we get a lot of people that come up here during the summer, their dogs are supposed to be licensed where they are, or do they have to be relicensed here because they're here for 4 or 5 months?
If they're here for 4 or 5 months, they need to be licensed here as well.
Oh, wow.
And I share that with people that I meet, and I also give them the reasons that it benefits them as well, because if I pick it up and it's licensed somewhere else, I don't know who to take it to here. And most people I've talked to have been willing to do that. A few people haven't.
I was just curious. because
Yeah, I didn't realize it was
How
that
would I
much
know if
charge
somebody's
shop.
here for that long and their dog is ever licensed?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So do they have to pay the penalty fee though? That's the thing.
No, I talked to them down there, no.
Okay, good. They can pay just the regular fee.
Regular fee,
Which is how much?
$6 or $11 depending on if it's neutered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. So other business. Oh, cemetery committee. Barbara?
I have approached, or would like to approach the town. Renee and I have talked over the last 2 years about Bayview Cemetery. It's the oldest cemetery in town. We have Civil War veterans buried there. The cemetery people come into the Historical Society, Renee will vouch for me, they come up to the town, and they complain it looks deplorable. I took a class last year with some of the people in the community from MOCA, which is Maine Old Cemetery Association. Could I ask you a favor? Would you just leave that with the select board so they can see it? I had talked to them last year at Evergreen Cemetery is where we went and did a project. It was called Clean and Lean. It was showing you how to clean the stones properly and for leaning stones, how to stand them up straight. Renee was very gracious and took pictures for us of a lot of the stones that are down. And we may be eligible for another one, but it's a 2-day class. The first thing that I need from the select board, could I interrupt? Goodbye, I know where you're going.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Is a letter saying you agree that you want, you're not taking it on, but you are willing to have the people, and myself and Loring Munson took the class with me, and I've already been in touch with Loring, and he said absolutely he would help me to form groups to train them how to clean the stones properly and then how to set stones. The other thing is I needed a letter. I've already submitted the application because they get applications from everywhere in the state of Maine, but I submitted mine probably 2 weeks ago, and I put a bug in their ear last June when I took the class, so they're well aware of it. I've had numerous emails from them, but this was one thing that my application was lacking, is this letter saying that you are in support of trying to get a way to help us clean up that cemetery. The other thing, while we have this being broadcast, I will be going hopefully through to other organizations. I hope to have a meeting with the Lions Club, the Masons, the Women's Club, the American Legion, and anyone in the community that thinks they want to participate. This is not going to be every week, and you're not going to be doing it every time. The idea is we'll train team captains, and that person would have 4 or 5 people that they'll set a date and they'll go clean because they've been trained how to clean it properly. I show you that, and I was telling Renee, the other thing that MOCA is insisting upon, before you start cleaning a stone, you have to fill out this form. And you have to actually draw a picture of what the stone looks like. Write every bit of information you can read, but it must be kept. So I have suggested to Renee that she and I will work together. We'll keep a copy at the Historical Society and a copy here in the town office, because they need you to track it for 5 years so that somebody's not coming back and cleaning it again. We do have certain materials that you have to purchase. And if you just bear with me, we have water. I told Renee there's a water spigot out there. We need a porta potty. Well, I don't, because the Historical Society has bathroom facilities. We have to provide lunch to these people that come up, or the people that sign up. And the class is limited to 20 people. But like I said, I don't need all 20 from Lubec. I need a few, maybe 2 from each organization would be ideal. And they become their team captains, and Loring and I will work with them to set a date to go in and do some of this. We need certain type brushes. We need toothbrushes, certain kinds, spray bottles, kneeling pads, gloves if you're allergic to something possibly. They recommended that you have to wear a net for bugs. First thing after we get approved is we have to send out and publish in the paper, and it probably have to be the Quaddy Tide and the Bangor Daily, that cleaning will be done at Bayview Cemetery. And if you have a family plot there and you do not want us to touch it, you need to notify us. So that will have to come up to the town office, Renee, I hate to say that. And before the actual day of the cleaning, or 2 days before, if, let's say, John doesn't want his family's plot touched, you have to flag it off. So we have to buy flags. I mean, they were very detailed to cover themselves. I think, I read somewhere, if you want to know how well the community takes care of itself, look at their cemeteries. I know we take good care of Lubec, but that cemetery has been neglected for a long time. We're also going to try and set up something because I have had people that have come in to the society, and they have family members there, and they said, I can't come back up, but I'll donate money. So we're going to have to set up a checking account specifically for that, so people can donate to it. I also have people already from out of state that are saying, just let us know when it's going to be, and they're going to come up. But I would like this to be a true community effort. Like I said, everybody's busy during the summer, but I'm only looking for you. It took Loring and I 4 hours to clean one stone. But as you can see from the pictures there, and you cannot clean it with bleach, you cannot clean it with Mr. Clean. That is a biodegradable product that MOCA, which is Maine Old Cemetery Association, recommends. And that's the only thing they recommend to clean the stones with. They're very particular on the type of brushes and so on and so forth. So I hope the community has your blessing. We would like to move forward with it, but I need you to approve that you don't mind me asking. Of course, the associations can say, no, they're not going to help, but I can't imagine that.
I think it's a wonderful project.
Yes, great.
2 things.
Yes.
I would suggest, because there are some summer people that might like to help you do this,
Oh, yeah.
that I would, when Summer Keys starts, talk to Bruce, have him announce it before the concerts, and put some flyers up around where they live, like on Bayviews and stuff. The other thing is, when I talked about this before, and I can't remember what group I was involved with, somebody, and I talked about cleaning the stones. I think these were artists. And they said, But we love the patina on the old stones, and I thought, you know, that is a dilemma, that is a true dilemma, because,
It's eating away at the stone and
Yeah.
eventually will, the
Yeah.
lighting and stuff will eat right through it. The
yeah,
other
so
thing
be
we're-
prepared
Right.
for people to
The
come.
other thing truthfully, and Renee and I feel like we're bosom buddies on it. We've talked about, MOCA does not recommend that people go up and take a piece of tissue paper, put it on there and rub a pencil. They are dead set against that. So at some point, we may have to start to think about putting signs up. That
Yeah.
is somebody's burial ground. It is, to me, it's sacred land. You don't have a right to walk in and just do what you want to somebody else's property. But I thank you for those two ideas, Rachel, and I certainly will. Look, I'd like to add it also to the television, and maybe we'll take something out in the Quaddy ties to let the community know. Because we need to have, once I get the okay that we've been chosen, that's when I'll put it on TV and stuff, because then I need to have people ready to go. Because they'll give me a date that they're coming.
Barbara, do you need to advertise every time, or just, you can say during the summer of
No,
2019,
if we're
we'll
gonna
be
do the
cleaning?
summer of 2019, that would be that year.
That's what I meant.
If we wanna do it next year again, and this, don't get me wrong when I say this, it's not just Bayview. Bayview is going to take a long time. This is
Yeah.
not a one-year project.
No,
And then we'll go to the other cemeteries and look at them, because we will already have people trained to know how to do it. And then it's just organizing the small groups that can do it on whatever day and go out there and do it. And it's not every stone, and there are some stones you cannot change. The biggest thing for us, truthfully, with the pictures Renee took, is the setting up. And there we have to have pea stone, and we have to have gravel. They're very specific on what has to be here in order for that man to come and do this project. But I do think it's a worthwhile project. And the thing that spearheaded me the most was last year, a gentleman came up who was at Summer Keys, Rachel, and he walked over to the cemetery, and we have a Civil War veteran who never returned from Lubec. He's 19 years old, and his family put a stone there, and it's laying on the ground. And the man actually wanted to, has been in touch with me all winter. I want to pay somebody to pick it up, and this, I said, and I told him, we're trying to get MOCA to come, so, you know, it's amazing how people relate to what veterans are in there, as well as the families that are in there. They are the old families of Lubec.
Sure. Now, are the stones gonna be up right
If they
first?
can, if they can. We're gonna need dirt, because some of them have sunk so bad, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to build it back
Yeah.
up. The idea is, yes, but each type of stone has to be set with a different type, and Jason can answer this. I call it mortar, but it's not mortar. They're set up with something different. Limestone, it has to use one thing, granite has to use something, so we have to identify them, I think, first.
Yeah.
They don't all use the same thing. But the idea is to get the brawny men in town, or the women that can pick up heavy things I can't, that can help pick those stones up, and they actually have a tripod with a chain
Yeah.
that picks them up.
You may need to go to like County Concrete, or a place that has a variety of stone.
They will tell me what we need
Yeah,
once
yeah.
we get chosen, because she gave me his name, and I'm sorry I didn't bring it with me for his project. It's called, it's a level 3-4. I took 1 and 2. So if we don't get 1 and 2, I feel confident enough that at least we can go in there and clean some.
Yes.
But I'd really like to see some of these stones start to be picked up. And it would make it easier for the gentlemen that are mowing,
Yes.
because they've got to go around
Yes,
and
it
weed
would.
whack and stuff like
Well,
that.
if you would like, because I did similar way long ago in the town I grew up in, it was not as complicated as it has to be now. But if you'd like to write me down, I will work on representing Team Select Board
Thank you, I appreciate that.
excellent.
to
Okay,
work.
Dan,
He's
you're
such
on.
And I will be
show-off.
recruiting when the time comes.
The other thing that we're gonna need is the bushes will need to come out.
Brown,
The
that was
bushes and trees that are there will need to be removed. And we also found out that Down East Conservatory owns land at the back of that cemetery. So if we're approved, I'm going to get in contact with them. They're going to have to come up with some money and some help, because it's their shrubbery that has pushed its way out.
Just don't disturb that tree.
Oh, no, that's my favorite.
And for the record, I'm recruiting her now
Living the
because she
dream,
had.
living the dream, and then and say cemetery restoration. We got a sideshow going over here,
Sanction that
so.
we can at least try to do something with
So
this?
we need a motion to sign this,
Would you like to?
Are there also, by any chance, that there are any funds or grants or funds, I mean, it would just be beautiful if there was this, and it doesn't have to be wrought
I
iron,
think
but
there
I mean,
are
beautiful
grants.
fence going around
Yes.
that cemetery.
I
Yeah,
don't,
nice
I don't
grants.
object to the grants, but if I get chosen, I've got to do it now. I
Yeah.
can't wait. And Renee has informed me that there is funds.
Yeah.
somewhere
I'm saying in the
else.
So we
future, it would
need
look
to-
great
Yes.
with beautiful fence.
Perpetual
Yes.
care lot.
It deserves it, yeah.
So,
One step
do we
at a
need a
time.
motion, first let's sign this. We need a motion to sign the letter in support of
So
the
moved.
cleaning.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you very much.
So, now, we just,
Is
you,
this
Barbara
something
was
in blue?
saying that
I'll have to submit that.
55,000, maybe, we have 22,000.
I'm only asking for 4,000 or 5,000 because
Okay, so a little history, Barbara, I
Yes,
found
yes.
out today, there is a CD that the balance cannot be touched. That's the little history that I found out from Suzette. There is a CD and the interest from that over the years has gone into an account called Perpetual Care Lot Maintenance. And that is of 4/17, the date, not the time, is 10,652.64.
So we can use money out of that, but we can't touch the principal.
We can't touch the principal of the CD.
I don't want a lot, I just need to purchase
Yeah.
those brushes there. That D2 is what that article tells you about, is what the only thing that they recommend that they'll clean something with.
Are you gonna buy like, let's say the supplies for a team at a time so that they can share, so one team
I
goes
get those
one
back. When
They'll bring
we
it,
went to
okay.
clean,
You get it
we
back.
had to leave everything back there with them. We didn't get to take it home. All I
Okay.
got was paperwork from
So
them.
do you know how much that's gonna be?
No, because I don't wanna put the cart before the horse. Maybe I can do a little shopping around, but I'm not gonna purchase anything until I know we have them coming.
So do you wanna give us a quote of what we
I wouldn't say
would
more than
like?
4,000. And that's a lot of money, because these people don't get paid. They come up and do it as a volunteer.
Right.
You know, the Historical Society will provide lunch to the 20 people, but the 20 people that want to do it and come for this training have to pay $20 to come.
Mhm.
That offsets them a little bit and us.
And they get paid lunch. I mean, they get given lunch.
They get given a lunch.
But so, we need to make a motion to spend some of this, because you don't know how much you need.
I'm telling you, not more than 4,000, and I don't think we'll even use that much.
So you wanna make a motion that she can spend up to $4,000
Yeah.
on the appropriate
Yes.
equipment
Out
to
of
clean
this.
out of the
Out of that
perpetual
account.
funds interest. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Motion made by,
I don't know,
Carol,
I made it, I think.
seconded.
Rachel.
Thank you.
All right, how's that?
Thank you, and I hope that we get chosen, and I
Yeah, so
hope
let
it
us
starts
know
to
what
look
it
a lot
is,
better.
so we can come to the.
Thank you, Barbara, for taking on this.
That's a
project.
good,
It's huge.
good job.
We're gonna send you to train
Yeah.
the select board team.
I just have
Jason.
one little, just an update for the select board. We were put in the position of we bought a sidewalk sweeper. We have got a really good deal. It's about a $5,000 machine. We got it for $1,800, and they went and got it yesterday. There's pictures of it if you guys wanted to see it.
It's a thing of beauty.
Yes.
Yes, and we needed it because we didn't have anywhere we could rent anything for this.
The money that Ricky was able to scrap and the town voted on tonight going into public works equipment will pay for about more than half of what that costs, so.
So my next question is, when's he gonna do it?
They weren't out today.
No.
They're probably very, very soon.
Good.
They were getting it hooked up.
Yeah, but-
There is another
Be
one.
sure to get that corner by Paula Cases.
Paul,
What do you fellows have to put that on?
We are borrowing a tractor. We don't have our own yet, but we are borrowing one. Why, do you have one that'll fit on?
No.
Well, then sit down.
But I would say, if you fellows probably look into buying something, 0% interest rate now, it's probably worth the while.
Yeah.
well, I believe we're gonna maybe make it an article in the town meeting to purchase something that will hook to that we
If you guys are
can
gonna
use.
keep putting more onto them, they're gonna have something to
Yeah.
actually work with.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I agree
Those
with you.
power brooms and blowers just don't cut it for the fellows anymore, they're getting up there in age, as long as they run out.
Right.
No.
What are you trying to say?
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm getting younger.
You never know.
Okay, we have one last other business. We've been asked to, again, this was deferred to the chamber last meeting, to create a Pirates Invasion Committee. There are 5 people interested. It's up for discussion. I had a long conversation with Heather Henry, who's been doing a lot of work on this 2 days. It's over Labor Day weekend, and I've been assured that it will not involve, because the town cannot sponsor anything that has an alcoholic event. So we can't have, I mean, if a restaurant serves beer, that's fine, or alcohol, but it can't be on the street or in a tent or any of that. It can't be, we can't sponsor that. Our
Right.
insurance won't cover it. So I have 5 people who have stood up to want to do this. Julie Woodruff, Danny Fitzsimmons, Ruby Fry, Wanda Matthews, and somebody else, I'm missing, and Jenny Brown. They want to be on this committee. So, of course, the advantages would be that the town is sanctioning. It's Saturday and Sunday, I believe.
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend. So I don't know the specifics. We did not, I did explain to them that one of the requirements for a town authorized committee is that all the funds raised for the activities must go through the town, because the town is the nonprofit. So if they're doing, and all the money that they do raise, if they don't spend it that year, needs to stay in that account for the following year. It can't be managed by anybody but Suzette, the treasurer, and they agreed to that. I didn't tell them that all the meetings have to be up here and be in public, so that any town committee must meet here for the public, and the meeting must be on the town schedule, so.
Labor Day is the 2nd of September this year.
Yes, I know, so it's August 31st and 1st.
Yeah.
August 31st and September 1st are the 2 days. So I don't, we'll have to see what they wanna, they have not asked to close any streets down. I do know they're thinking of having a carnival come the 2nd week in June to raise money. And I guess they're talking to the school about that, as much as I know. Julie Woodruff, Danny Fitzsimmons.
Got it, that's it.
Okay.
So we make a motion to approve
Well, first
five
we have to
together.
create the committee, approve of the,
So, yeah, let's approve that committee.
I'll second that.
all in favor? And secondly, we have to make, I'll make a motion to appoint Julie Woodruff, Danny Fitzsimmons, Ruby Fry, Jenny Brown, and Wanda Matthews to the Pirates Invasion Committee.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Now we have to sign all these.
All right, I take my vote.
And that, other than public comment and committee updates, of course. Jason, Harbor Board's 3rd Monday of the month, I don't know,
Yes.
do you have the date?
They're
Okay,
fixing
Harbor
the
Board?
horse. What I-
3rd
what I
Monday of
have-
the month at 6, what's the,
5:20?
it's 5:20?
And before we get done, Carol, I have something else.
Oh, that's right, you wanted to bring something up.
Yeah.
Actually, that's under other business, you go first before committee updates.
Well, I've been speaking to a lot of selectmen in different towns, and they're as concerned as we are on the dwindling tax base, okay? And more and more stuff is coming off the tax rolls in Cutler, Whiting, Lubec. Taxes are going up for the local folks and the local businesses, and it's getting tough. The state won't do anything for us. So what I want to do, and what I've talked to other folks about, and they're all interested, is get selectmen from all these towns affected by this together to meet. We've been offered up the Whiting Town Hall to meet in. They're very interested in all of us getting together with the representatives and going to the state with one voice to have them do something to help the small towns out in the way of tax breaks. You know, if they say we have to take something off the tax rolls, then they should take it off the town's tax rolls too.
I agree.
So that's where I'm going with this. The state loses nothing, and they mandate that we give the tax breaks.
I agree, and I think if you want to promote the state as vacation land, and that's what they used to, Carolyn Ouellette from the Department of Office of Tourism, that this is a place that everybody comes to have, play and de-stress from the big cities, that the state needs to they need to step up to
I
the
agree.
commitment to the vacation land, model of Maine. And if, let's say, if we get into a group as all the municipalities in Washington County get together and send their representatives or
Correct.
state senators to Augusta and say, let's say we don't single out Lubec, we just say 20% of all of Washington County is been in, conservation. Then when the county budget meets next year, of which Renee is a member, that I propose that 20% is taken off our county match and that
Correct.
we equally share in the savings. So let's say we have 25% and Cutler has 10 and Eastern Shires has 40, that, you know, that it balances out because there is a power in many. So one municipality is not going to affect the
And
state.
that's why I wanna get all of us
So
together.
it's a very good idea, Jason.
And
So
with that being
everybody in
said-
Washington County should come.
I'd kinda like to have everybody's permission to throw Renee under the bus. Try to, you know,
It's gonna be a big bump.
have her try to, you know, organize this.
Well, we need,
I've spoken to a lot of them. and they're
I'm
all
on the
very
task
interested.
force for,
yes.
and I just went to a meeting on this
Right.
last week,
That's-
and
yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
perfect,
Yep.
just exactly what they're talking about.
And Steve Presley said, you can have a meeting down here.
And
I'm
we
all
need
for
Mary
it.
Ann Moore
Yeah.
and Will Toole and,
Yes.
and there's a couple of other
And-
state legislatures in Washington County.
And Rachel is also on this task
Right.
force, and one of the last things that was said was that they need more municipal people on that committee, that board
I
that's
mean, I go to
on.
any meetings, but for me to organize this, I work for somebody that's very,
Take it easy.
very, very rough on it.
And there she is right now.
No, I wanted to Renee's horn. We went to a meeting in Bar Harbor and Renee was the only public official there at a group and she brought this issue up and they just flocked to her to hear what she had to say and I just wanted to do
Yes.
it.
Well, I mean,
She
we've got,
represented us and said the right things to, and was the only official there.
and we've
That
gotta
was
do
the
something. We
Convergence at school
are getting
in
killed.
November. That's what started this task
So,
force.
Yeah.
did you want us to, make some kind of motion that we agree to go forward with this? Do you need a motion on that? You
Yes.
make-
How
I
about a
make a
resolution?
motion
motion
we
then.
proceed with organizing selectmen from other towns. a
To
meeting.
go as a
Yeah.
joint
As a
force?
group, yeah.
Second?
A person who might be very interested in this is Louis Pinkham.
All in favor? Yes, that's Washington County, isn't it?
He's Mildred.
That's Washington County.
That's Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Right
Well,
down
this-
Steuben is Washington County.
All the way to Steuben.
This way we can go to the state as one
What
voice.
I think, and what you need to do is, at that meeting, we need to sign some kind of a group petition to give to Mary Ann Moore and
I
Will
don't-
Toole.
A resolution.
Okay,
Yes,
right, resolution.
Right.
A
I mean, the
resolution.
state's gonna have some skin in the game too.
It's a
They
good
can't
idea.
win.
See, we're gonna be first in this, figure getting organized. That'd be
Well, the
great.
first thing would be to get up to that 5% revenue share.
Revenue share.
Yes.
Where's that stand at the moment?
That's got momentum.
I've heard some
Yes.
good things.
Right, I mean,
Yes.
that's a little separate from this, but
Yeah.
yes.
I
Barbara?
just wanted to say, I commend you, Jason, for doing that because you're right. Lubec is getting hammered. I spoke to Renee today and when I left her office, go ahead and laugh at me. When I left her office, I went up and spoke to Jim. I think one thing that would be important for all the towns that you get together, Jason, is to have what percentage of their land
Yes.
is in tree growth and what does it equate to in dollars and cents that the communities have to make up? And that
That's
these
what needs
people
to
are
be done.
getting, we're getting nothing
Yeah.
for it.
I spoke
That's
to
absolutely right.
a board member in Cutler last week, and he said, Cutler's getting killed by this. He said, it is just killing.
Every town feels the same way. It's
Oh, I
not, I
agree.
mean, and Renee and I were at a meeting last week where that was the total discussion.
Yeah.
And what kind of happens is that the formula from the state level it treats every district differently. And it seems that the monies are always favoring the larger communities in South Maine, Southern Maine. And we kind of get forgotten.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
And Barbara, I mean, I go to the Marion Transfer Board once a month, and that's where all the towns sit down. before the meeting and after the meeting, this is the topic between all of us, all of us.
So, Jason, do you wanna come up with a tentative, 2 different dates? I was thinking, alternate Wednesdays when we don't meet,
Right.
that Renee could send a group email out, because
Yeah.
I'm sure she has information on all the town administrators, to say what date would be better, because you have to come up with some date.
And I know Steve Presley, like I said, he offers his hospitality.
So is a Wednesday night, it's, I don't know with the legislators if they're in session, because they can't come during the week.
That's gonna be.
They might have to-
Part of it.
Yeah, I don't know, are they in session now?
But we gotta start somewhere, we gotta do something.
So
We'll work on that.
we'll work on a date. I mean, we're obviously, you know, what our schedules are. Okay, now committee updates.
Okay.
Harbor Board,
They're gonna fix the hoist one more time, they're gonna fix that. We approved, as you know, to accept,
all right,
to go for the grant.
yes.
That, well, and also brought up maybe recovering some of these mooring stones that are sitting on the bottom of the ocean, you
Okay,
know, out here. We haven't
What was that?
finalized anything on it, but
okay,
we're working on it.
that's good. And so the next one is the third Monday, it's the third Monday of the month
Yes.
at 6.
Yes, I know somebody that always calls me to remind me.
Yes, that would be me. Rachel,
Yeah, a recycle meeting this coming Friday, the 10th, and where we will be gung-ho planning for the town cleanup, which will be happening the 17th. of-
following Friday.
Following Friday, and I have notified the school's on board, and what?
And the
And the
17th and
18th, yeah.
The 10th is
17th
the
will,
following Friday.
yeah. Yes, I'm sorry, the 10th,
Do you
the
know about that?
17th will be the school, but the 18th will be the town, you know, the
Town.
hotel, yeah. Good.
Dan?
AOS, the 8th, 4 o'clock?
Yep.
And revolving loan, I believe it's still the 13th at 3 o'clock.
We have the shellfish meeting on May 6th, that's this Monday at 6 o'clock. And Safe Harbor to be announced, we don't have a date
Oh,
yet.
and the select board monument cleaning should be announced.
You never mind over there. And Renee, any help you need organizing this, Susan can help you. Selectmen in towns.
Now, Jason,
Busy cooking?
is there gonna
Well, I'm cooking and doing the windows.
be, so for all that Saturday cleanup, where do we bring the trash that we're picking up?
The town office.
Yeah, I know, there's gonna be an extra dumpster.
No, so I was bringing an extra dumpster.
Extra dumpster,
Yeah.
And also when the school children do it, we always let them use any dumpster in town, just
Yeah.
because it's more convenient, and we don't want them walking, you know, farther than they have.
yeah, the way we did last year, we sort of, there were different buses going to different
Yeah.
places in the
And then
town.
they came back,
Give them
they were-
latex gloves,
Yeah.
bags, the whole.
I also
And they
talked
brought it back to here, the
Public
town
Works, if anybody wants to clean up, but, you know, they used to do driveway to driveway, you clean up beside your street.
Yeah.
Public Works will pick up the bags, just leave the bags on side the
When,
road,
what day?
17th and 18th.
So if you leave, what, is certain color bag, or just?
Big
any-
black
By the
bag.
by the
It's a
road.
big black
Any,
bag.
but
One
anywhere in the
time.
whole town of Lubec, they're
So
gonna
like they
ride
do
36
down-
miles of road?
Like what they did, because they were there again. I was
Like
driving
last year.
through
Yeah.
Past New Goldsboro and stuff.
And
They
I
just
think some of the trash
bags
guys
lining the
actually helped
streets.
us pick up
Yeah, they
too.
did, they did.
On Friday, and this is
Both
Friday
posts helped too.
or Saturday?
Friday
Yeah.
and
They're
Saturday.
gonna pick up Saturday?
No, they'll pick it up Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
We picked
right,
up ours
let's
last.
clean up Lubec.
That's right. We don't have the prisoners to do it anymore.
Public
With
comment?
that note,
Public comment? Well, everybody, thank you for coming.
Good meetings,
It's been a long
everybody.
day.
Good
Yes,
job.
yeah.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to
hey,
adjourn.
We did all that,
second,
and it's
got
still
there,
7
thank
o'clock.
you.
Wow.
Everybody comes around.
Cecil is, Arthur, you got-
Thanks for